Welcome to Tech in the Car. I'm Oliver. This is the Porsche Cayman 718 GT4. This car builds on the sporting heritage of Porsche, which is what all the GT cars are about, and gives the best performance and the best handling and the best aerodynamics as well, as you can see from this car, that you can get. This car starts at £81,700, and for that you get a car which is designed with the ultimate in aerodynamics and performance in mind. At the front here we have these skirts which say GT4 embossed on them. We've got a vent here to let air into the car for cooling. We've got a really aerodynamic shape you can see on this car. It's been designed with aerodynamics in mind. We've got these side skirts, we've got some more vents down the side here. We've got these massive air intakes down the side which lets air into the engine, which is back here. And then we've got a fixed wing which gives extra downforce and grip. We've got 20-inch wheels as well. These are very nicely done in silver. However, there's also the contrast with this car, which I believe is frozen berry. So you can see a really nice contrast here. This is a coupe or coupe, and you can see we've got our frameless window, and then inside here is very, very low. So if you're not used to getting into low sports cars like I'm not, that was a bit of fun getting into it and getting out of it as well. At the back of the 718 Cayman GT4, we've got this massive rear fixed wing. We've got a little spoiler here. We've got our GT4 logo and Porsche logo. And then down here, we've got two big round tailpipes, which are blacked out with a big diffuser, which helps with the aerodynamics. And of course, being a GT4, it means that we have a roll cage at the back. If we open up the rear of the car here, you can see we've got a bit of storage space here, which I've got my cameras in. And then we've got the roll bar there, which is very, very cool to look at. But there is some space here. You can fit a small suitcase in there. Now there is also a frunk at the front of here. Even though it's not an EV, we do have a frunk. It's actually quite deep. In fact, this is big enough for a full-size suitcase, maybe even a full-size and a carry-on. You could get into here really without much trouble at all. In fact, let's give it a go. I mean, you can see there's quite a lot of space back here. So frunk has got lots of space. Good for storage, which is really good and convenient. And there is space in the back as well. And you also have access to your fluids here. Your washer fluid is under there as well. Now, if you've never gotten into a sports car before like this, with carbon bucket seats, you just saw how I got in there. That was after much practice. These are not electric bucket seats, so I have to press the little lever to move it forwards and backwards. Once I'm inside, these are very, very well supported seats. I feel really, really comfortable and held well inside them. They look beautiful with the carbon fiber behind me. We have a fantastic Alcantara steering wheel, which is in just the right position, just the right size. You notice there's no buttons on here to adjust anything because it's racetrack focus or focus for the road, but this is a performance orientated car. And then we have our manual short throw gear stick, which is really great for changing gears. We've got our auto blip, suspension, exhaust button, auto start stop, and then we've got our air conditioning media and our little infotainment screen in the middle here. This car is very much focused towards the driver and towards driving the car. It's not a interior which is designed for comfort. That's not to say it's uncomfortable. It's just, you can tell it's orientated for the racetrack. And we don't have traditional handles either to open the door. The little pull tags here, and you have to pull them and then the door will open. I actually have to be honest, I spent about 5 minutes trying to figure out how to open the door because I assumed there was a little button to open it, but no, you just pull on the little loops here and it opens like that. So interior wise, this is exactly what you would want in a sports car. It's very focused, it's very thought out well, it's very comfortable for what it is. I don't know on a long trip how these seats would feel, and it definitely is a bit difficult getting in and out of the car. But overall, this is a very, very, very orientated, focused car. And of course, the one thing that this car does have, which lots of people are missing on new Porsches, are the cup holders here that you can then close and then rest your cups in without spoiling the design of the car. So that's one thing which lots of people missed on current generation Porsches. Welcome inside the Porsche Cayman 718 GT4, and this is the track-inspired sports version of the Cayman, as if it wasn't already sporty enough. And we've got 420 horsepower, 420 Newton meters of torque, from this 6-speed manual transmission. Having a manual car is quite rare. Normally you would expect there to be a PDK, but no, this is a manual transmission. Now, I have to be honest, I'm not a big fan of manual transmissions. I am in a carbon bucket seat and I feel really, really squeezed in there, and it's very, very, very supportive, which is very, very comfortable. The other thing too is my seating position is very, very, very low, which you would expect. This is a low car. And let's see how it drives. As they're coming through this corner here, very flat, very stable. I can definitely feel, definitely throwable into the corners. There's no doubt about that. And you know, as we accelerate, you can feel the power building. It feels very linear, and this car is just very, very stable in the middle of the road, and you can definitely feel how flat it is. But you know, the Cayman feels like a smaller car. I think that's fair to say. I think that's where it fits into the Porsche line, being a smaller car than the 911, the 992 911. And so this, the 718, feels like a smaller car. This actually feels more akin in size-wise to my RS3, a bit more compact, a bit more direct, but very similar. Let's accelerate and try out this engine. Do a nice bit of overtaking, which is allowed because we're on national speed limit roads. And yeah, really, really nice acceleration. It's the handling which really gets it. You know, how precise it is, how the steering feels very, very direct, and how the car just feels so happy. It's like it wants to rev out. In fact, this engine goes up to 8,000 RPM, which is a very high RPM. And so really the best noise comes from the top end of that. And so does the best performance as well from this naturally aspirated engine. And let's just give it another go here. Accelerating up. Let's bring it down to third gear. So I mean, I can't even get near to the red line on this car on a normal road. Carrying on down this country lane. So you know, this is just a very, very flexible, powerful, efficient car to use. You know, this has got a bit more power than my RS3, although Porsche are probably underselling the power levels on this car, to be fair. Really nice turning circle as well, by the way. Very good turning circle, much better than my RS3. So you know, Porsche are underselling the power on this, but you know, yes, it may have less torque than my RS3, and yes, it may have slightly more power, but it feels a very, very different car. This is a sports car, pure and simple. So what do I think ultimately of this car? This is a very, very, very good sports car. It drives fantastically without being a car which needs to be as large as the new 911 is. Not to say that the new 911s are big, because they're certainly not, but they've grown in size just like every other car has. And the GT4, the Cayman, sits where the 911 used to sit. There's no doubt about that. Let's turn the exhaust off so I can hear a bit better. So this car really is something to behold in terms of performance and in terms of feeling connected to the road, because I don't think it's hard nowadays to feel connected to the road when driving. I think this car is something to hold when you talk about being connected to the road when driving. You don't feel that way generally with cars nowadays, and Porsche are making that the case with this, the Cayman GT4. So this car definitely does deliver on what it promises, and at £81,000, I would say, what are you going to get which gives you a car that drives like this, that feels like this? Now, in terms of a package, like I mentioned, there are cars like my own Audi RS3 which have slightly more torque and a similar amount of power, but which are more practical and are also special. But this is a GT Porsche car, and this is from Porsche a very, very special vehicle. So next time you see one of these driving around, just remember, this is a special car and special cars are becoming rarer every single day. I think this is a fantastic sports car, and if you're after a sports car, then this is a great car to get. It's not as large as a 911, but it's also got the handling and the performance and the brand that is Porsche, and this is one of the best sports cars that you can get. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like and subscribe, and check out my other Porsche videos, because I have the unbelievable Cayenne Turbo GT, I've also got a Macan T, and I've got the Porsche GT3 Touring as well. So check out those videos on the channel. Thank you very much.